Hey parents, what if I told you that there was a way to teach your nonverbal autistic child to request, I need to go potty? The good news? It's teachable. In this video, I'll teach you the exact method I use to teach children this crucial need. Let's talk about it. My name is Celeste. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst certificate. I've been in the field of ABA for over 12 years, and in that time, I've empowered and coached hundreds of parents just like you to connect with their autistic child, to really get in their world and teach meaningful everyday skills. And today, we're talking about requesting for the restroom. Okay, so let's talk about what the grand scheme should look like, the big picture, okay? So after potty training is mastered and after this communication piece is mastered, it's gonna look like this. You are, let's say you're washing dishes in the kitchen and your child is in their room, right? And they feel like they need to go potty. You wanna give your child the skills to be able to sit in that feeling, walk to the restroom or their PECS book, find the toilet icon, a little picture of a potty, come find you in the other room, walk over to the kitchen and exchange the icon. And then you take it from them and you say, potty, oh, okay, you need to go potty, let's go, right? So that's the big picture. Let's talk about all the steps on how to get you there. I have my notes here. So in this video, we're not gonna be covering the steps for potty training, but this video is just for the communication piece, just for the request. This video assumes that like prerequisite skills are met, like sitting on the toilet, wearing underwear, and traveling to the restroom. One thing that all parents who are potty training should know is that requesting is actually the final step that your child will master within the entire potty training process. Okay, so sometimes parents feel a little weary, like, oh, we've been potty training for a few days or a few weeks, and my child isn't telling me he needs to go potty yet. And to that, I say that's totally okay. That skill actually comes way later. We're not expecting it in the beginning phases of potty training. After potty training is mastered, it's likely the communication piece catches up. Second, I wanted to review that this video is specifically for our nonverbal learners. So our learners who have limited to no words, this one is for you. Consider the current mode of communication that your child is currently utilizing. So if your nonverbal learner is a PECS user, or if they don't have any primary mode of communication just yet, that's okay. The strategies that I'm going to review today are going to work. If your child is an AAC user or an ASL user, strategies are going to vary a little bit. The overall process is the same, but let me know if you'd like a separate video on that one. First thing you're going to do is go ahead and set up your environment. You're gonna access a toilet or potty icon. So it looks kind of like this, nothing fancy. You can even print it out, make it at home, laminate it. Go ahead and put Velcro on the back because you're going to attach it to your restroom door. You're gonna put it low enough so the child can reach it. And ideally, you wanna put it on all restroom doors that you guys are using for potty training. So your timer goes off, you're like, okay, it's time. Here's the first communication opportunity. Before you enter the restroom door, you're gonna pause. You're gonna get his little hand, rip off the icon, open your hand, place it in your hand, and you're gonna say potty. Okay, let's go potty, and then you're gonna enter the restroom door. So what's happening here is you're developing a new pattern, you're developing a new routine. So every time we walk up to the restroom, this is the response I need from you, and then we'll enter the restroom. And this is communication. It's an exchange. It's a back and forth. And in this situation with the nonverbal learner, there's a literal exchange, like they're exchanging a picture icon to you. I already said this before, but you're gonna go ahead and label the word potty. And you don't have to say potty. It could be restroom, it can be toilet, it could be baño. Go ahead and use the word for restroom that you already use as a family. And obviously the child doesn't have to copy your label. They don't have to say anything. It's just you giving that label after the exchange. Next is practice, repetition over and over. And this is where it comes into play, like the consistency on behalf of the parent is what's going to be really crucial. It's what's going to be a big indicator for the child's success. In this step, you're also going to practice fading your help. Say you've been practicing for a few days and you're like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little pressure right here. That's your cue to let them go when you start to feel a little effort on behalf of the child, okay? So You might hold his hand, and then right when you get to the icon, you might let him go and kind of hover and see if he will complete the remaining steps on his own. Another variation is instead of holding him here, you might hold him here, you might gently hold him here. The whole idea is you're fading out your help. You don't want to stay here forever because that's not independent. Another variation is you might be able to point to the icon after he's had sufficient practice and see if he will independently rip it off and exchange it to you on his own. Once he's mastered this step, he's actually communicating to you. So if you're able to stand in front of the restroom door and he rips it off, I hate that little thing. If you approach the restroom door and your child rips it off and gives it to you, that's actually communication. There's an exchange happening, and he or she is saying, I need to go potty, and then you guys enter. Fantastic, you're on the right track. So on this step, he or she is ready for you to increase distance. So going back to what I talked about in the beginning, you want him to be able to find you wherever you are in the home. That's what this step is here. In this step, when you and your child approach the restroom door, go ahead and you as a parent kind of take a step back, take a step or two back, and see if your child will walk up to the restroom door on his own, rip it off, and walk back to you, even if it's just 1 or 2 feet, right? Actually, I would just start at 1 or 2 feet. Don't jump from being in front of the restroom door and you being too far in the kitchen. That's a little too far. What you're really going to want to do is slowly and systematically increase your distance so your child will have to travel further and further to you to make that request. This is really so you're not just stuck at the restroom door. He can really navigate the house and find you. Over time, increase your distance until you're in a separate room, right? And he can come and find you and exchange the icon to you as a means of saying, I need to go potty. When you guys are ready to go out in the community, let's say, or go to grandma and grandpa's house, let's say you guys are at a restaurant, the icon should come with you, okay? Either you can put the icon in his PECS book and take it with you, or you can have some icons attached to a keychain circle and attach it to his belt loop. I hope this video was helpful. From your favorite BCBA, you got this.